Have you ever noticed how a younger woman looks at an older man sometimes with that mysterious spark in her eyes? What if I told you she's not just being nice, and she's not always even aware of what she's doing? Younger women have subtle, secret ways of flirting with older men that most guys never catch. And once you know these psychological tactics, you'll see attraction in a completely new light. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal things younger women would never admit out loud. Understanding these hidden signals isn't about manipulation. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing the profound psychological dance that happens when two people from different generations connect. And the truth is, most men walk through life completely blind to these signals, missing opportunities and misreading intentions. By the time we're done here today, you're going to have a completely different lens through which to view human attraction. Part 1. The hidden curiosity. Younger women are naturally curious about older men. That curiosity alone is powerful. She may tilt her head slightly when you speak, ask more questions than usual, or linger just a bit longer in a conversation. These aren't just friendly habits. They're subconscious signals that she's mentally invested. Curiosity is the first stage of attraction. But here's the dark twist. When she's curious about you, she's already testing whether you're different from men her own age. If she finds even one clue that you're more experienced, more confident, or more mysterious, she leans in harder. This curiosity manifests in fascinating ways. She might ask about your career journey, your life experiences, or your perspective on topics that younger men her age simply haven't developed thoughts about yet. There's a genuine hunger for wisdom, for perspective, for a view of the world that comes only with time and experience. And here's what's interesting. This curiosity creates a feedback loop. The more interested she appears, the more engaging you become. The more engaging you become, the more her curiosity deepens. But there's something even more profound happening beneath the surface. When a younger woman expresses curiosity toward an older man, she's often seeking validation that she herself is mature enough to engage at that level. It's not just about learning from you. It's about proving to herself that she belongs in that conversational space. This creates a subtle power dynamic that neither party may fully recognize, but both feel instinctively. Ever noticed a younger woman asking you questions she doesn't need to know the answer to? That's not small talk. It's a hidden flirting strategy. And if you're answering those questions without recognizing the game being played, you're already several moves behind. Part 2. The silent body language. Flirting doesn't always start with words. In fact, younger women often rely on nonverbal signals around older men. Watch closely, and you'll notice things like soft eye contact, a playful smile that fades slower than usual, or her touching her hair when you speak. Here's the dark psychology behind it. These are primal signals designed to draw attention without her having to take the first step. She may even position herself closer to you in a group or find excuses to face you directly. It's subtle, it's calculated, and it works. The language of the body is older than spoken words, and it bypasses our conscious filters entirely. When a younger woman uses these signals with an older man, there's often a heightened awareness of their effect. She knows, perhaps not consciously, but instinctively, that these subtle gestures carry weight. A touch on your arm that lasts half a second longer than necessary. A laugh that's slightly more animated than the joke deserved. The way she angles her body toward you, even when she's supposedly talking to someone else in the group. Here's what most men miss. These signals aren't random. They're calibrated. She's watching your reaction to each one, adjusting her approach based on what she sees. If you respond to eye contact, she'll use more of it. If you seem to notice when she touches her hair, that gesture becomes more frequent. It's a real-time feedback system, and she's the operator, whether she realizes it or not. The sophistication of this nonverbal communication often exceeds what you'll see in same-age flirting because there's an added layer of discretion involved. And here's the kicker. If you ignore those cues, she might double down, exaggerating them to see if you'll finally notice. That's when the game really begins. This escalation isn't desperation, it's determination. And there's a significant psychological difference between the two. Part 3. The respect test. Unlike flirting with guys her own age, a younger woman flirting with an older man often carries a layer of respect testing. She wants to see if you'll break character. She may tease you lightly, bring up your age in a playful way, or joke about generational differences. This isn't an insult, it's a test. If you react defensively, attraction fades instantly. But if you handle it with calm confidence, maybe even flipping the tease back at her, you pass. And the respect test becomes a powerful attraction trigger. Think about what's actually happening during these exchanges. When she jokes about you not knowing some modern slang, or playfully mentions how old school your taste in music is, she's not trying to make you feel bad. She's probing for insecurity. She's testing whether your confidence is real or performative. Because, here's the truth, younger women have seen plenty of men, her own age, who project confidence but crumble under the slightest challenge. They're looking for something more solid, more unshakable. The men who pass this test don't just brush off the teasing, they reframe it entirely. They might respond with something like, "Old school? That's called having actual taste," delivered with a knowing smile. Or they might embrace the age difference with humor. "Yeah, I was around when music was actually good." The key isn't the specific words, it's the energy behind them. It's the unwavering sense that you're completely comfortable with who you are, and her playful jabs don't even register as threats. Most men fail this test without realizing it. The ones who pass, they instantly stand out in her mind. And once you stand out, you occupy mental real estate that her peers could never claim. Part 4. The contrast effect. Younger women are wired to compare. When she flirts with an older man, she subconsciously contrasts him with the younger guys she knows. This is where her signals get even more interesting. She might emphasize her youth by acting playful, giggly, or energetic, just to highlight the contrast. At the same time, she'll often try to draw out your seriousness, or wisdom, or your calmness. This dynamic creates a tension she finds intoxicating. It's not about being better or worse, it's about being different. And difference creates desire. The psychology of contrast is remarkably powerful. In behavioral economics, they call it the anchoring effect. Our brains constantly compare new information against existing reference points. In the context of attraction, you become the new reference point, and every younger man she knows gets measured against you. Your patience versus their impulsiveness. Your measured words versus their need to fill every silence. Your calm presence versus their anxious energy seeking validation. But here's where it gets really interesting. She's not just comparing you to other men. She's also amplifying certain aspects of her own personality to maximize this contrast. She becomes more youthful in your presence, precisely because your maturity provides the perfect backdrop. It's like she's turned up the brightness on her youth, her spontaneity, her freshness. And in return, your experience, your groundedness, your depth all become more pronounced. This isn't accidental. It's a psychological pas de deux where both participants unconsciously choreograph the dance. Here's the psychological secret. The bigger the contrast she feels, the more magnetic the attraction becomes. And the most skilled women know exactly how to amplify this effect without saying a single word about it. Part 5. The secret power moves. Now we're entering the darker side of flirting psychology. Sometimes, a younger woman will use power dynamics when she flirts with an older man. She may play innocent, making you feel protective. Or she may challenge you, trying to prove she's not just some naive girl. Both are tactics that keep you emotionally engaged. Why? Because when you're pulled between wanting to protect her and being impressed by her independence, you become hooked. That push-pull dynamic is one of the most powerful forms of attraction. Let's break down what's actually happening here. When she plays up her innocence or vulnerability, she's activating your protective instincts that are deeply wired into male psychology. You feel bigger, stronger, more capable in her presence. There's a primal satisfaction in being needed, in being the person she turns to. But just when you settled into that role, she shifts. Suddenly, she's demonstrating competence, strength, independence. She's showing you she doesn't actually need protection. She simply chose to be vulnerable with you. And that choice feels like a gift. This oscillation keeps you psychologically engaged because you can never quite figure out which version is real. The truth? Both are real. She's complex, multifaceted, and she's revealing different aspects of herself strategically. Some women do this consciously, others do it purely on instinct. But the effect is the same. You remain engaged, curious, invested in figuring her out. And the moment a man becomes invested in figuring a woman out, she's already won a crucial psychological victory. Ever felt like a younger woman was both soft and strong at the same time? That's no accident. It's a hidden flirting strategy designed to keep you thinking about her. And if you're thinking about her when she's not around, the attraction is already operating on a deeper level than mere physical chemistry. Part 6. The subconscious mirror. Psychologists call it mirroring, and younger women do this almost instinctively when flirting with older men. She might copy your gestures, match your tone, or even mimic your choice of words. It's her subconscious way of saying, "I'm aligned with you." The hidden effect? You feel more connected, like there's a natural bond. But here's the dark twist. She doesn't even realize she's doing it most of the time. Attraction rewires her behavior, and you're the one pulling the strings without knowing it. Mirroring is one of nature's most elegant persuasion techniques. Studies have shown that people who mirror each other's body language report feeling more connected, more understood, and more comfortable with each other. In sales, negotiation, and therapy, mirroring is used deliberately. But in attraction, it happens spontaneously. When a younger woman is genuinely attracted to an older man, her brain automatically begins syncing with his patterns. She picks up his speech rhythms. If he speaks slowly and deliberately, she finds herself slowing down too. If he uses certain phrases or has a particular sense of humor, those elements start appearing in her own communication. She crosses her legs when he crosses his. She leans in when he leans in. She matches his energy level, creating this subtle harmony that both people feel but rarely notice consciously. And here's the fascinating part. This mirroring creates a feedback loop. The more she mirrors you, the more connected you feel. The more connected you feel, the more open and engaged you become. The more open and engaged you become, the more she mirrors. It's a spiral of increasing rapport that can create powerful bonds surprisingly quickly. Notice a younger woman sipping her drink right after you take a sip? That's not random. It's attraction psychology in action. These tiny synchronicities are your subconscious minds having a conversation your conscious minds aren't even aware of. Part 7. The vulnerability trap. One of the most powerful hidden tactics younger women use is showing just enough vulnerability. Maybe she shares a personal story. Maybe she laughs at her own flaws. Maybe she admits something small that makes her human. To the older man, this feels like intimacy. It creates a protective bond. But here's the truth. Vulnerability is often a strategic flirting move. It's not about weakness. It's about connection, and once she creates that emotional bridge, attraction deepens fast. Vulnerability is the currency of intimacy. When someone reveals something personal, something real, something that makes them just slightly uncomfortable to share. They're making an investment. They're saying, I trust you with this piece of me. And that trust demands reciprocation. It's almost impossible for a human being to receive genuine vulnerability without feeling compelled to open up in return. This is why strategic vulnerability is such a powerful tool in the hands of someone who understands human psychology. A younger woman who shares a childhood insecurity or admits she sometimes feels like she's not taken seriously because of her age, or confesses that she's nervous about an upcoming challenge. She's creating an intimate moment, and in that moment, the age gap disappears. You're no longer the older man and the younger woman. You're two people sharing something real. This shift in dynamics is profound. It transforms attraction from something superficial into something that feels meaningful, significant, lasting. And once that emotional bridge is built, crossing back over becomes nearly impossible. Here's the question. Is she being vulnerable, or is she making you feel needed? That's where psychology gets tricky, because sometimes it's both simultaneously, and untangling one from the other becomes an exercise in futility. Closing final revelation. So the next time you notice a younger woman acting just a little different around you, lingering longer in conversation, testing your confidence, or sending subtle nonverbal cues, understand this. She may not even realize she's flirting, but her subconscious does. And when psychology takes over, the game of attraction is already in motion. The truth is, attraction between younger women and older men has less to do with age and more to do with psychological dynamics, curiosity, respect, contrast, and connection. And once you see these hidden signals, you'll never unsee them. You'll walk into a room and immediately notice who's angling their body toward you. You'll hear the extra question and recognize it for what it is. You'll feel the respect test coming and pass it effortlessly. You'll understand the power of contrast and learn to use it rather than fight against it. But here's what I want you to remember most. Attraction isn't a game you win or lose. It's a dance, a conversation, a complex interplay of psychological forces that both people contribute to. Understanding these dynamics doesn't give you control, it gives you awareness. And awareness is always better than confusion. Whether you choose to act on this knowledge, how you choose to respond to these signals, the ethical framework you apply, those are decisions only you can make. But at least now you're making them from a place of understanding rather than ignorance. The hidden psychology of attraction is all around us, playing out in thousands of subtle interactions every single day. Some people will read these signals and use them wisely. Others will misinterpret them. Some will overestimate what's happening, while others will remain completely oblivious. But the signals themselves, they're real, they're powerful, and they've been part of human interaction since humans first began interacting. We've simply given them names and frameworks now. Map the territory that everyone walks through, but few truly see. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden psychology of attraction, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because we have plenty more secrets to reveal. And don't stop here. Check out the other videos on this channel where I uncover even more about attraction, relationships, and dark psychology. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. We're going to explore topics that most people don't even know exist. Psychological principles that govern our relationships but operate completely beneath conscious awareness. Until next time, stay aware, stay curious, and keep questioning everything you think you know about human connection.